we got to figure out what's going on with this truck and why this 6.5 will not hold fuel pressure, because I'm sure that's what's going on. I haven't checked the fuel pressure, but once you give it more fuel, it eventually acts like it runs out, loses power, and dies. So, show you what we're gonna try. All right, so we're gonna pull the tank out, and what I'm gonna do is I've got a fuel pump here rigged up. I got a line and a jug. We got another jug over here, and I'm gonna try and suck out, it's got a quarter tank or a little more of that than fuel. I'm gonna try to suck that out of there and make my job a little bit easier for pulling that tank out. So, it's a long hose. I think this will work though. Just gotta figure out if I can get this down into the fuel enough for it to start sucking. There we go. We're in the tank, I think. I felt the bottom there. Let's hook this up. One more. All right, are we pulling anything? Okay, so it was definitely in there. Probably just not enough suction to suck all the way through that hose. Might have to try something else. Okay guys, we're gonna try something here. I'm gonna try to create a venturi. Basically, we're gonna cut a little slit in this hose. Like that. Just enough to where I can get this nozzle in there. There we go. So we're gonna put this air nozzle in just like that. And we're gonna start blowing. And what that should do is create a suction in this line and start pulling fuel up. So let's go ahead and try it. There it goes. Just like that. Okay, now that we got fuel in there, that fuel pump should work. Or we can just leave it like that and it'll siphon out. Right now, we got fuel siphoning. I'm gonna leave the fuel pump off. Here we go. Since this is lower than the fuel tank, it'll just siphon out of there. So we'll let that go for a while. All right, so I got to get the filler neck disconnected right there, and then the vent I'm going to try to disconnect back there. So I'm going to get those off, and I'll be back when we're ready to start dropping the tank out. All right, so I decided to skip the footage of actually pulling this thing out and get straight to the point. I'm gonna go ahead and take a look down inside of here. There you go. So you can kind of see there's some, I don't know if that's algae or what that is that's growing in there. The tank is not in real bad shape. I don't see any flakes of anything coming off. A lot of people report they've got that issue. But the tank isn't too bad. The sending unit, I'm buying a new one. I'm also buying a new tank, by the way. But on the sending unit, the fittings that were coming off of these steel lines, I couldn't break them free. The fitting was stuck right to that steel line. So we just went ahead and we're buying a new sending unit. I've got some 3/4 inch hose I can replace this with, because I did end up having to cut a slit in it to get it off. It was stuck on there pretty good. I also I'm going to order a gasket here for the sending unit. And I'm going to order new straps. The straps are usable, but this one here, I pulled this whole bracket off. You can see it twisted it and it broke that off. So I just went ahead, ordered 2 new ones. I'll reuse this stuff here, that's fine. And we'll see how that goes. So the filler neck seems to be okay on it. The hose is still very pliable. And we'll probably have these parts here in about a week. So with that being said, I think what I'm going to do is start working on that harmonic balancer. I want to get that done and at least get that out of the way. Once we get this next week, I'll resume the video after that, and we'll see if we can't take care of that problem. Now, if you look, the sock on here is pretty dirty. I'm not sure if that was our problem, but it's definitely not helping anything with all that crud on there. It's possible just me moving it around has knocked a lot of that off, but it's definitely not going to hurt to replace all this stuff and see if that takes care of our issue. If it doesn't, chances are we've got a bad injection pump. So let's hope that this takes care of everything. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this shroud off, probably get the fan off of there, get the belt off, and that way we can go ahead and get at that harmonic balancer down there from the top. I'd like to see if I can get it from the top. All right, so this is where I'm at right now, and tried to get the belt loosened up with the idler pulley, and obviously you see it's off here. The spring in it is locked up, or something in this mechanism back here, so it does not want to release. So I guess I'll be ordering a new idler pulley assembly and a belt. That belt's kind of cracked up. So just something I found as I was digging into this. Went ahead and I got everything out. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, get the belt off, and then we can go ahead and start pulling off the pulley and the harmonic balancer. All right, so got everything off that shaft. Go show it to you here. So this is the reason I wanted to replace it. If you look here, you can see chunks of rubber missing, and it's still intact, but you know it's only a matter of time. So obviously this was bad and got a new one. I also got the pulley here, and if you look at the rubber on this, it's pretty bad too. It's cracked up. It's very, very brittle. I can feel it. So it was only a matter of time before that flew apart. And now I'm going to go ahead and get that other seal out and put this one in, because I think it's leaking from there. It might have one other oil leak, but we're going to replace that and hope that that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and start installing it. All right, so I found this. I think that'll work. Maybe not so good, huh? There we go. Now it's going. There we go. Well, guys, it's a week later now, and you can see that I've got the hood of my other truck just full of parts. Last week I went to, after I installed that seal, I went to put the harmonic balancer on. When I did that, the harmonic balancer just pushed all the way on the shaft like it was nothing. So I took it off. I checked it over here. I got the old one. I checked it with my set of calipers here. And basically one side of this inner diameter was 25 thousandths too big. The other side was 50 thousandths too big, or thereabouts. So I said, nah, I'm not doing that. I filed a return, sent it back, and they sent me this one here. This one is slightly bigger than the stock one, but it fits nice and tight. So this will be good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with that. What you're seeing here is something extra that I ordered. Went ahead and got this pod for 3 gauges, and we're gonna install, this is gonna be a whole nother video, but we're gonna install fuel pressure, boost, and vacuum. So we're gonna, for the vacuum pump, so we're gonna do that. Went with the Max Tow brand on that. But we got the tank now. Got the idler pulley assembly, sending unit, some locking rings and O-rings here, new belt, and tank straps right there. I did end up ordering this. I said I had a 3/4 inch, I said I had a 3/4 inch piece of hose, but it was water hose and it was not rated for fuel. So I went ahead and ordered 1 foot of 5/8, which is the correct size for the vent that comes off your sending unit here. So let's go ahead and continue. We'll get these put on and then we'll move on to the tank. And I hope that all this finally fixes this truck and makes it work. All right, so everything's all put together now up here. I've been working on the tank and I got the sending unit in, got the hoses put on where they need to be. Got that little plastic tray, put it in there, cleaned it all out. So this tank is ready to install. However, if we walk over here by the bench, the old straps, we got this one bracket here and this bolts to the frame of the truck. This strap needs replaced. So if you notice, it's riveted on. I'm gonna have to drill that out, and then what I'm gonna do is just use probably, looks like 5/16 nuts and bolts. Well, I got a strap here, and I'm going to try to use that strap to help me out. All right, so you're looking at the top of the tank here. What I got to do is get those fuel lines connected to those two there. And I got to look at the other sending unit to make sure I'm doing it right. This hose, this vent hose right there, will get connected to that small one, and then your big tube there is going to go through the top, over the top of the frame, and we'll connect that after. All right, guys, everything's put in, hooked up. Went down and got 5 gallons of diesel, and haven't started it yet. Well, let's see what happens here. I'm sure there's a little air in the line. I'm not sure what that'll do, but let's go for it. All right, so it's having a hard time still. That's not a good sign. Could just be that had the air in the line, I don't know. It sounds good. It feels smooth. Still has some hesitation though. Alright guys, so I've been out here driving around for about 15 minutes now, and I don't have any trouble at all. Things running great. So I guess if you guys have a 6.5, you may want to check and make sure that the sock in the tank isn't plugged up. So evidently that's what it was on this, because it's still going. I gotta get that windshield replaced. It's accelerating nice. When I get on it, it blows black smoke, so that's good. It's getting a little dark, and I don't have these headlights on here adjusted, so we're going to take it back and see you at the house. All right, so there you go. We found out that the tank, and more specifically that sock, was the issue on this truck. Got the thing running good. So it's got some more problems that we're going to have to deal with, so we are by no means done working on this truck. I know we got some issues with the hitch in the back. The blower motor inside it runs, but it sounds really bad, so we're going to change that out. Then we got to put that gauge pot in. So stay tuned for more videos, and if you like this one, like, subscribe, comment, and hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.